We want people to have experiential and contextual learning. So to be able to train somebody for the field, we need to put them in a context. New York is by far the most international city in the world. 50% of the population here has been born overseas. It's a glimpse of the world. As a missionary goes out and begins the process of learning a new culture, first of all, they need to have a learning attitude. And as they initiate ministry and life in a new culture, we want them first of all to learn and to listen, to be able to engage nationals on the field, to be able to understand what we call worldview. Part of our mandate in GTD is to be change agents in missions. My name is Jeff Marlowe, and I am the Director of Global Training and Development. One of our key principles in GTD is that we want people to have experiential and contextual learning.
Well, my name is Peter Beck, and I'm a trainer at Global Training and Development. People in different cultures have very different assumptions about what the world is like. They have different values in terms of relationships and friendships and leadership.
My name is Minette Lugo, and I am a project and training specialist. We specifically picked New York and Belgium to do our CCMI experience because the multicultural, the diversity, the urban settings often mirror what people will have to go through when they go on the field.
So to be able to train somebody for the field, we need to put them in a context. That context would be a Dominican neighborhood in Washington Heights, in an Asian neighborhood in Flushing, in a Greek or an Italian neighborhood in Astoria. It could be in any one of these places. But the most important part of context is the fact that they are having to really learn as they live, as they walk around the city, as they think, as they eat, as they do their laundry.
We really want people to be able to engage cross-culturally, to help people be effective for cross-cultural ministry, and really understand the dynamics and be able to communicate well and develop meaningful friendships with people from a different culture.
Ministry in general is about engaging with people and with culture, and whether that's just two people interacting or whether it's us moving to a new city or a new country, we're called to be learners and lovers of people and observers of who they are and how they live. I'm Jason Polk, and my wife Liz and I are going to be serving in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. We first heard about CCMI as we began our process of preparing to move overseas to Ethiopia. We were going to be coming to New York to live in the neighborhood, to minister in a local church, and also to be spending time together as preparing missionaries to train and grow, to learn about ourselves, to learn about God's call to the nations and how we're going to be part of that.
The first couple days we were here just relished in the beauty of being able to walk down the street and see all these different people and speaking all these languages and not just coexisting but actually interacting and sharing a space together.
I'm realizing obviously how perfect a place this is for us to do this type of training. Definitely been areas we were in where I felt like I'm not in America anymore. I mean, it kind of feels like that in a good way, and this is a great place to just kind of observe things and try to take deeper notice than you would typically just visiting a place.
We don't necessarily try to make this any harder than it has to be, but we intentionally don't make our time in New York or Belgium easier. People don't have cars in New York and Belgium when they come for the month, and so they're having to deal with public transportation or walking everywhere with strollers and babies.
It's been a challenge with our little boy Nathan trying to navigate the subway and roll him around in his stroller and up and down stairs and escalators. But that's part of the learning process, learning how to navigate a city, how to engage with people as a family as we go from this place to that place. Dealing with the everyday issues and frustrations that come with being in a new place. That's part of the calling that God has called us to, and that's part of what this month is about.
The components of CCMI include how to understand a culture, learning not just through classroom and textbooks, but through observation and cultural interviews. We'll also teach you how to learn a language. We'll give you an opportunity to practice ways and apply that. You'll be instructed on how to plant a church, how to do evangelism. We'll explore different ways of going about that. We will also be teaching you on how to maintain a healthy spiritual life. You will also learn about teamwork and how to work well together with other believers as you minister overseas, and how to manage conflict. We'll do this not just in the classroom, but through field work in churches and in neighborhoods. And mentors will help you reflect on your experience, what you're learning, so you can solidify that and apply it.
My name is John Birch, and my wife and I have been MTW missionaries in Australia for 13 and a half years. One of the values that we have for CCMI is that not only do the folks who attend have an opportunity to experience New York and experience ministry in a multi-ethnic situation, but also to have people that come alongside them and help them to interpret their experiences, to help them process what they're learning from someone who has had experience on the mission field.
The mentoring has been wonderful. We have to turn in journals, have accountability for at least having a record of what our experience here is like. Having a mentor that I feel really safe with, I really like that because I feel like I can trust her enough to just kind of write stream of consciousness, and then we've had some really great discussions and she'll follow up with me, and so it's just helpful to have that processing help.
Our experiences here at CCMI, I think they'll help me immediately to figure out, okay, who's in my neighborhood where I'll be ministering? What are the things that drive them in their own theology, in their own worldview?
I think what's been good about CCMI is a lot of what I've been thinking about, they're able to systematize it, organize it. Being with other missionaries was incredibly encouraging. Having the mentors pray for you and talk about things that they understood. They understood what you were saying.
It's an integrated experience. You're listening to people talk about things and saying things that you know are really insightful, and then you have a church context in which you're trying to work them out, and then you go home and have to journal about them. And so it sort of incorporates your head, your heart, and your actual body doing.
But we're giving them, we hope, enough of a taste so that they can see what are the things that it might raise in my life that I need to be aware of before I get to the field.
I'm just feeling really reminded of my brokenness here and just wrestling with needing a lot of grace.
It gives a month for people to process and to actually live the kind of adjustment that they will have to live on the field.
Every culture is different. And as they initiate ministry and life in a new culture, we want them first of all to learn and to listen.
And it's as we just engage in those very personal, intimate ways, one-on-one in small groups, that we just begin to put the pieces together so that we can understand what does it mean to live like Jesus in this place? What does it mean to love people with the love of Christ?